Hi there, welcome back to another little mini episode of MacGyver's Workshop as we're working on our house building project here. In the last video we showed you where we were doing our concrete countertop, and now it's time to deform it, which is break these little plastic forms off. So come on over here, I'll show you. I've already popped one or two of them off here, but we'll get to that in a minute. And what you want to do is you just want to kind of very gently get your form away from the concrete. In some spots maybe where you poured a little thick and it went a little high, that's okay. We'll get to all that in the finishing process where we grind and polish it down. But all you have to do is just gently work your way here. You'll feel it break away. Of course, I got my corners taped. They'll pop off just like that. And the plastic forms give you a really super shiny, smooth finish there, which of course we're still going to sand, polish, and seal it, but very little to be done there. So, and then we'll just work our way around. As you, getting the very first piece off is the most challenging because you don't really have anything to grip onto. But here we can start from an end and work our way down. Now this one's going to be this one's a full 8-foot piece, I believe. So we'll have to just work our way along here. I just swept this floor, but you're sweeping it again, won't I?
Yep.
That broke free there. Some spots it pops off real nice and easy, and some you gotta fight it, but that's okay. It's almost like a glass finish, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's really wild.
It almost looks like the form's still on it.
Yeah, it's clear or something. It's really wild. And then we just keep working our way down here. Now, see, I poured it a little heavy, so I'm a little thick here over the top. So,
Well, we'll straighten it out when you sand it.
oh, you can always grind some off, but it's a pain putting it back. So we'll see if I can't get into there without scoring or scratching anything. There we go. That's how we do it. Those that way. Once we have that, then we can start breaking the form away. The shorter pieces are a little easier to deal with. There we go. Or you can dispose of the...
It's such a smooth edge on the bottom.
well, that's actually, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, pretty, isn't it?
Very good.
And I was very fortunate. Everyone I've seen that has done this, maybe I should get the rest of them off before I say this so I don't jinx myself, but they've all had voids, and I haven't seen any voids in this yet.
No, our problem was pinholes in the top.
Well, we have pinholes in the
but
top.
we can
but see,
fix that.
We didn't even vibrate the side of the forms like they say you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Because
The one lady said it was...
project just went to hell on us because my drill burned up, and we were in the middle. I was like halfway across the top here with wet cement setting up, and it's, you know, it's polymer modified, so it's got, you know, all these chemicals in it that start reacting once you start putting water in there. And, you know, and apparently this is the fast setting stuff, so it's like,
Yeah, I would suggest you have 3 to 4 people helping
3 to
you.
4 people helping,
And
or at least
mixing buckets.
on hand for emergencies, yes, because this is,
I don't know how that one lady did it by herself on YouTube.
yeah.
I'm not understanding that.
Yeah, the one with the cat down in it.
Yeah.
So,
It was beautiful. She said it looked like travertine, the edges.
oh, yeah.
Which I don't mind the imperfections either. I think it gives it character.
Yeah, and I mean, once you know, we're early in the process here. I mean, once we get this ground down and polished and all, it's gonna really look good. So, and like I said, it's always better to be a little high. You can always grind it down a bit, but you know, it kind of sucks if you're low and you have to try and put some back.
And that's all of those. And, then we have already done the sink. You might want to tell them about the sink.
Oh yeah, I did the sink. I'm sorry I didn't get that on video, but we peeled the forms out of the sink. Get this out of here out of the way. And Terry, go around there. And if you'll recall from my last video, when I had the plastic form in there that stuck in there really good, I just put a tiny, tiny bead of clear silicone, pure silicone caulk around there, and I wiped it down really good, as close as I could get, with alcohol. And you see what that did. That just made a
Pretty edge.
a beautiful transition that you don't have to deal with, because if you have to do any kind of work in here, you're going to scratch your stainless up. And as it is right now, between the goo from the sticky on the,
Which will come off with Goo
hopefully
Gone.
it'll come off with Goo Gone or lighter fluid or something like that. And then I use that crappy cheap duct tape as an extra measure to seal below the bottom of the thing. But as you can see, there is
One solitary,
tiny little blob of the mortar that got down in there.
Let me get to it.
And you have to be,
Right here.
yeah, it's kind of like in Monsters, Inc., where the dude got a sock on him, you know, and everybody started freaking out, you know, and
We're going to have to just use a plastic scraper.
we're going to have to use something plastic and,
I don't know
and
how it
work,
got in there.
and work that off of there, because with the stainless,
Yeah.
use anything heavily abrasive,
It'll scratch.
you're going to scratch it up. So even I would imagine even like a Scotch-Brite pad, you'd have to be really careful with. So we're gonna just work this with plastic, and you know, rather than scratch this $300 sink up, I think it can wear off with time. I think it always does. So.
It's beautiful.
And that made you know, that sink form made a really nice perimeter around the sink here. And if you recall, when we were doing putting the form in, I was telling you, I used a heat gun to soften the plastic up, and we were able to make these nice tight radius corners here. So it looks good. I'm happy with it.
I am too.
Thank goodness, despite all the adversity,
I like the aging and the way
it still came out nice. So, you know, I was worried
Our
there
first,
for a minute.
yeah, me too. Our first 4.
You know, it's, you know, and if I was probably a little smarter, I would have done the little ones that are going to be over here first to see how it is. But I don't think that it would have given us the true picture of what it takes to do something this big.
Yeah, never again.
Because it's, yeah.
After these over here, Those two, the little 18 inchers.
18
Those are gonna be like a walk in the park.
Yeah, they are, and we still got the rest of our forms over there to form all that up, and they will go right in here on, you know, each side of the stove, so.
And the boys worked again yesterday.
Yeah, they got a skim coat down. I'm gonna call this wall done,
It's
really.
done,
Because,
all you're worried about is what's showing.
well, we're
I mean, obviously
gonna
you
lay
wanna
a
do it
coat
right.
primer on it.
Right, you
and
wanna
see
do
what
it
looks
right.
like, but, and that way, I mean, we can skim coat this thing 10, 15 times and still find something we missed, so,
They've done nice corners here.
yeah. Well, remember they got skim coat on them, so they're, you're gonna see lumps, but, you know, it's,
This room's pretty much ready for primer, he said.
yeah. Yeah, and I still got some stuff to do. I gotta do the wood trim around the front and back doors. I gotta finish all that out, but,
Yeah.
that's all okay. I'm not worried about that. Stay tuned. Okay, so once we got all the forms off the countertop, then we started kind of cleaning up after or an intermediate cleaning there with all the drywall sanding and everything. So we've got kind of sort of swept up and cleaned up. We're not worrying about being too pretty about it because, you know, come through and we're going to sand one more time. And so then we'll make it all super pretty. But anyway, I moved one of the cabinets in over here. I'm gonna have to get that prepped and ready for its concrete countertop, and we'll be doing that bit too. Maybe since it won't be such a catastrophic event, I can do that little one to show you, because this was just way too much to try and video. I mean, heck, we didn't even have enough people to do the job, let alone enough people to film it. So, but anyway, well, Tammy was working on that, cleaning everything up and getting everything spiffy. I'm in here also working on the tile, and you can see how we've got the floor done here. Got all my little spacers in there to, you know, measure everything out, make sure everything's gapped properly. And the width of these little guys here weren't just so much a coincidence as it was that they were the pieces that were left over after I had cut these two pieces here. So these two pieces here are each 6 5/8. When we started, we did this row, and it was 6 5/8. So I had to do this side 6 5/8, keep it even, symmetrical looking. And then, of all those pieces, you know, that I cut with 6 5/8, this width is what was left over. So rather than burn through, you know, 5 or 6 pieces of tile and let that all go to waste, then that helps me decide what size or what width tile to use for the rest of the floor, so I can recover that tile and it won't go to waste. So anyway, stay tuned and I'll show you more as we go. Okay, so now I've got all the pieces cut for the floor of the shower. Took all freaking day, but I got it done. A lot of little complex angles and pieces to work with the slope that they have in here, but I think it came out looking pretty good, so I'll give you a look at it here. Okay, you zoom in here and you can see how we've got the tile there. And then we had to work around this long linear drain, and everything is sloping in towards it. So there's a lot of triangles. And then you got another slope angle here. And then right here, you got a fiddly little bit here to where this slope, which is going in, mates with this slope, which is coming down. And that's pretty much the best way I could make it look symmetrical on both ends. And came out fairly good. What I got to do now is I got to number them all with a grease pencil, and then take them all up and set them out over here, and then I can come back in and start gluing them down, with the thin set. So it's a bit of a challenge. And then actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and coat these walls here. I'll get them coated with red guard, and then I'll let that set up. I'll need a couple hours, and then I can come in here and start setting these tiles. Then once these tiles are set and the red guard is good and dry, then I can put my wall tile up. And the red guard's basically an elastomeric paintable membrane. I guess you could akin it to Cool Seal, like a roof coating. It's kind of like a rubber paint, and it just adds an extra barrier against any moisture getting through the wall. So, but I don't think we'll have any problems with leakage with the shower. So, this is our forever home, so I want to do it once and done. So, anyway, then once we get all this sorted, then I can sort this bit here, and then we'll, like I said, we'll start getting our wall tiled. So, thanks for watching, and always appreciate everybody's checking in on us here on how we're doing with this project, and stay tuned, and we'll talk at you later.